Welcome to the Connie Hagar Cottage Sanctuary Butterfly Garden. The garden was planted as a monarch way station in order to provide the monarch butterfly the required resources to produce successive generations and maintain their migration. So what does this have to do with hummingbirds? Well, monarch butterflies and hummingbirds have a couple things in common. One is they both have a spring and fall migration, and the other is they both eat nectar. And that is where the plants in this garden get involved. Although hummingbirds and butterflies don't have the same idea about what flowers have the tastiest nectar, they all agree on several of the plants in this garden as being irresistible. Take trees, for example. In the garden we have 3 different trees that both species find attractive. Of these 3, the native wild olive is probably the most enticing. When mature, this heat-tolerant tree can reach a height of 20 to 30 feet, and from late winter through fall, it will be covered with clusters of 1.5 to 2-inch yellow-throated white flowers. These trees also produce an edible fruit enjoyed by other bird species. We have 5 wild olive trees in the garden. We also have a native desert willow that can grow up to 40 foot tall and is very drought tolerant. It displays glossy dark green foliage with masses of purple and pink blooms from spring through summer. Also in the garden is the North Mexico, South Texas native Mexican poinciana. It can grow to a height of 20 feet and produces clusters of yellow flowers in early spring through fall. Okay. We also have several shrubs in the garden that both butterflies and hummingbirds will flock to. The native Texas sage or sneasel will grow from 3 to 10 feet tall depending on the variety. It has delicate gray-green leaves with the stunning displays of bell-shaped purple blooms from summer into fall. It is drought-tolerant and deer-resistant. The native coral bean is also a favorite with long stalks of red tubular flowers in spring. It will grow to 9 feet tall, but beware, the seeds are poisonous. Flame acanthus is a Texas native with a 3 to 5 foot spread. It is covered in red tubular flowers during the summer and fall, and it is also a deer-resistant plant. Okay. Our native Turk's cap is designated as a Texas superstar plant. It prefers part shade, but will grow in both sun or shade. There are 3 different varieties. The 2 native varieties will have either red or white blooms, and the Texas A&M cultivar called Pam has a pink bloom. All right. Lantana is another favorite nectar source. We have the Dallas red variety in the garden. It has clusters of small red flowers. The native Texas variety with orange flowers is also a good choice. Please note that the berries are poisonous. The perennial salvias are another big hummingbird draw. Henry Dulberg salvia, with its masses of showy blue flowers, is a designated Texas superstar. It was discovered in a small Central Texas cemetery growing on Henry Dulberg's grave by Texas A&M horticulturist Greg Grant. On Henry's wife's grave, another variety with beautiful silvery white flowers was discovered by Grant. This is now known as the Augusta Dulberg salvia. The third type of salvia is the tropical sage, a southern native characterized by its spikes of red tubular flowers. They are prolific self-seeders, with the new plants often bearing pink flowers. It will grow in the sun or shade and is drought-tolerant and deer-resistant. Succulent red yucca which is a member of the century plant family, is often visited by hummingbirds. It produces stalks of red tubular flowers up to 5 feet tall from March through July. Lastly is trumpet creeper vine. Although not planted in the garden directly, you can find it growing in the brush surrounding the garden. It has clusters of large orange tubular flowers that hummingbirds love. The vines can grow up to 35 feet long and are very aggressive. All of these plants in our garden attract both hummingbirds and butterflies. They will also work well for you in the home landscape as an invitation to these magnificent creatures to come visit your garden at home.